Do you guys think that chasing clout has actually become an issue?
It's a disease.
It's actually a sickness.
What is chasing clout?
So I think we need to define clout. The
clout.
dictionary definition of clout is influence, power, dominance. But I think when we look at it from
the slang perspective.
when we look at it in the colloquial sense, people think it's like fame, popularity, notoriety,
followers.
Right.
Yeah.
What is an issue?
I think both of them
intertwine.
they weave in.
So it's chasing power.
Yeah. I think looking for attention and trying to benefit from it
and
as
latching onto people who might already have perceived popularity or influence.
So an opportunist.
An opportunist, exactly. An opportunist. And
I feel like clout has become like such a negative word.
Yeah.
Like, is it meant to be a bad thing to have these things?
See, the thing is, historically, humans have always chased clout in the dictionary sense. Humans want power. Humans want influence. Humans want dominance.
Right.
But I think with the rise of social media,
we can see it.
Clout is now associated with people seeking popularity by any means possible. So that's why the connotation, I think, is
so
more
we've
so negative.
changed the
any
word
means.
to be something where it's the way that it's actually achieved as opposed to the actual thing.
And I think it's because with social media, we can actually, if we were, I mean, not that we should be watching anyone like that, but if we were to observe certain characters, influencers, probably more than likely, or musicians on social media, and we kind of like follow the certain clout chasers and kind of see what their path or their trajectory is, it's kind of being able to identify that kind of, I guess, the fake allegiances that they have with certain groups or certain cliques to get into certain rooms or to get certain campaigns. So obviously with social media, with like the bloggers, for example, there's a lot of talk around like fake friendships or fake circles and collaborations. But is it fake if they collaboratively know that if they all stay together, they'll be able to benefit from the popularity of all of them combined? Or is it clout chasing for all of them? Is it clout chasing that maybe a few girls might suddenly befriend Oloni because they know her influence in the writing world?
When I've seen people saying that's clout chasing, it's usually something negative that they've done themselves in order to create a ruckus on social media for people to go on their page, or they've said something out of pocket on purpose or for attention in order for people to come to their page or to watch their video or something like that.
Yeah, I think in the context of friendships specifically, I think there's a difference between a mutually beneficial business relationship and a friendship or business relationship that is only really beneficial for one party. So I think if 5 girls who are bloggers or influencers say, oh, let's all go on this holiday or let's all hang out because it's good for our brand, who am I to knock their hustle? That's a business decision. They're strategizing. So I think it's a very intelligent move on their part. The difference is if someone says, oh, let me be Olani's friend because she could help me do this and then I could go to this party and do this, and it's not actually mutually beneficial. The transaction is just working in one way.
So there's like professional clout chasing, and then there's like just straight up just being stupid on social media.
I don't think there's anything wrong with like trying to like befriend other people from similar background and wanting to. But as long as you're not
you have to do.
it.
Is there anything wrong with you just? Because obviously we say a lot that it's about who you know, networking is really important. So if you see someone and you know that, okay, if I'm with this person, I know that I may be able to get this certain opportunity or get into this certain room, is that actually a bad thing? Like, the game is a game. Like, you're trying to get what you need to get. You're trying to be successful.
As long as it's authentic. I think if it's authentic, then it's fine.
What do you mean by authentic? It's authentically, I need to get into this room. I need to know this person so I can get this opportunity.
You know what? I think when it comes to networking is a part of business. Networking and being in the right circles, getting your foot in the door, being in the right rooms, that's part of the come up. Like you said, the game is the game. It's part of the strategy. So if that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative. I do not knock it. My issue, so I would say, because of the negative connotations of the word clout, okay, you are trying to gain access, you're trying to gain influence, you're trying to widen your social circles. But when we hear clout, because of the colloquial use of it, so commonly like it's negative, I always think clout is associated with bad ethics. So it's not someone who is just doing things that people regularly do in the business world. It's someone selling secrets. It's someone going on YouTube to share a story about their friend.
So
it's
that is
someone
definitely,
tagging people on Twitter and trolling them and personally attacking people because they know it's going to get attention, it's going to get views,
Or
it's going to
doing
get
really
listens.
stupid things and filming themselves.
So I think when we hear the word clout, because of the way people interpret the word, my association is that there's been a line that has been crossed, an ethical line has been crossed just for you to garner attention.
Okay, so that is different.
So what would you say the difference is between faking it till you make it versus selling a dream?
I think in some situations it's okay. So from a blogger's perspective, when I started blogging, I was buying my own clothes, be it that it was charity shop stuff, because that's what I was about.
What, cheap and cheerful?
Cheap and cheerful.
Yes, cheap and cheerful, looking good for less, all of that. I'm still very much cheap and cheerful minded. But
not clothes-wise. Mind
no, even in clothes.
That was definitely not a fiver.
No, I would still buy stuff like that super cheap. I still go to charity shops as well. But yeah, it's like a lot of bloggers, when they first start off, they have to purchase their own item of clothing, even if that means they might have to return it the next day in order to just take pictures in them and have content to post on their pages and on their blog. Well, if they don't have money to just be shopping £250 every month to buy clothes in order to keep up with content and stuff like that, you might have to resort to buying stuff that you might not keep. And that, in a sense, is basically faking it till you make it. For example, what you mentioned earlier about someone who may have had surgery and they're selling fitness programs and not really letting people know that they had surgery before they started doing the fitness. It's not even like they're lying about it, they're just not like telling people that has been the case. And there's like that argument of, should they be obliged to tell you that they've had surgery beforehand, or is it okay for them to say the body that you're seeing right now was through my fitness and the body that I had after my surgery is a different body, so you don't need to know about that?
So I guess it's a question of what are the moral implications of you faking it till you making it or selling a dream? Because on one hand, me going to a charity shop and buying loads of clothes and saying, check out my amazing wardrobe is one thing. And me telling you that I'm really thin because I eat appetite suppressant lollipops 24/7 and I have real meal replacement shakes when really I'm super thin because I had loads of surgery and I have a PT is very deceptive. So I think it's also about influencers and people in that realm truly thinking about what their intention is and what are the moral implications of the content I'm putting out. Like in me chasing all this popularity and chasing this influence, am I having a negative impact on the people that are watching me and the people that are following me? And am I actually influencing them negatively, or am I actually adding value to their life?
Hey guys, Oloni here, and I'm down Oxford Street where I'll be talking to the public about sex and relationships. I have my own place and my boyfriend doesn't. He stays over often. Should he pay some of the rent?
The thing is, if you were to reverse the roles, no one would have an issue with this. This would even be a thing.
I don't think that I should ask him. If I'm with the right person, he will offer.
Do you pay some of the rent if you were staying around your girl's house for like 3 to 4 days of the week?
It all depends. This is what I'm saying. It all depends on the situation. I can't really comment.
So you're saying no, basically?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, if he's there all the time, then why not?
As long as he earns enough to, like, don't bankrupt the man over it. If you're already paying for the place and he can't afford it.
If they don't show a few years and he's actually got nowhere to go and he's been staying there for a couple of years or a year or whatever, then he should.
Me personally, I wouldn't personally move into a girl's house unless I've got my own place, because when it starts getting iffy, it starts becoming, oh yeah, this is my house, get out. And I've been through that before, so.
How was it?
It wasn't nice, so.
She'd probably be cooking, having sex, eating his ass.
He could be cooking, cleaning,
Eating her ass?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you eat ass?
No.
You sure? You said, you hesitated.
Huh?
Huh?
Listen, next question, innit?
Because he might be mooching off of you. He might be eating your food, using your water. Like, yeah, he should pay his bills.
And relationships are hella expensive as well. Before you know it, he's eating out your bread, your milk, everything's gone, your cereal's gone.
Exactly.
Then he should contribute. To pay half, that's a bit mad, right? But he should be contributing one way or another.
He might be using you. Like, why is he living at your house?
True. Do you not have your own house? Go to your father's house.
Do you guys think that influencers receive unwarranted or unnecessary backlash?
Oh, of course, all the time.
I feel like a lot of people just don't like influencers. They feel like influencers just sitting at home doing nothing, and all of a sudden they just get all this free stuff and have this lavish life.
It's not.
And they're getting paid to just look pretty on Instagram. Like, that's literally how people... In essence, some influencers are that. Like, they're beautiful and they're capitalizing on their beauty.
Which
like, go ahead, do your thing. Like, I think everyone capitalizes off of something.
Yeah.
Even if you have a YouTube channel and you're talking about politics, you're using your knowledge and you're capitalizing off it, and you started a YouTube channel in order to put yourself out there and probably make money from YouTube talking about whatever it is that you're talking about. Everyone capitalizes off of whatever it is that they have to offer. But why is it when an influencer is just pretty, according to how people put it across, they're not allowed to have any kind of respect or value because, they just take pictures or they just have a big bum and they're just on Instagram?
Influencers do portray that. They make it out like it's just their life is just daisies, and it's just like, just take selfie. And you know, if it
and that's the one selfie out of 600.
If it is difficult, then maybe you should be a bit more honest in your content as well,
I think
to show more about that. But they don't. A lot, you know, there's some influencers that it's very like they're selling perfection.
Some of the backlash, I think, is jealousy, but then there's also, like you said, a frustration with a false narrative. And I think that's where people are starting to hate influencers, because they're like, come on, this is not your life. A lot of people are having self-esteem issues because of the content individuals like you put out. You're selling dreams. You're not being entirely realistic about the way you attain certain things or about the way you live your life. And that's where I think a lot of people have this like deep-rooted resentment for influencers.
I just think it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's quite like, I don't know if it's cheeky or naive though, because for people to have these judgments on influencers, because when you think about it, there was something about that particular person before they became an influencer which attracted a following. There was something about them or their journey that, you know, excited you, something that, you know, made you feel happy inside, something that you appreciated or, you know, admired, that made you like their content and made you follow their content. So I don't think, for people to say the influencer thing is just, it's an easy job, the following doesn't amass overnight. It does. For some, it might, but for a lot of people, it takes a long time and it takes a journey. And I also do think that, you know, I think we give social media so much power, because with Instagram, it's just images and video. How transparent can you make your life through images and video without telling everyone every single aspect of your existence? It's impossible. Just how you have a photo album, it's always been about the highlights. Now that photo album is digital, I just don't understand why people
want to hear more about the
I don't think
difficulties.
it's that. I don't have a problem with influencers at all, but I don't think it's that. I think it's more, it's just this, it looks perfect, and I don't mean I want to know what your daily struggles are, or I want to know, you know, what you're allergic to, or do you know what I mean? It's not that, but we can't pretend that there isn't this.
But what if they've built their brand on that perfection
based on angles?
What if they've built their brand?
There's been times where I have followed influencers, or people I know have followed influencers, and they look a certain way on their social media. You see them in real life, they look entirely different. So I think with a lot of influencers, it is just an online photo album, it's just pictures. But then you get some that fall into the category of deception.
Right.
So when there's deception
like two different people online and in real life.
Like the edit is just it's just crazy. It's just like, wow.
So do you think influencers should be held accountable and understand more about the influence they basically have?
Yeah, I agree. Anyone who has a platform that has a certain amount of following, you need to be held accountable. Like you need to be aware of who's behind you, who's following in your footsteps, who's being inspired by you and influenced by you. And I think the more that you have that, the more you should want to do more positive in that respect. I mean, why would you want to lead people down a negative path?
And I feel like a lot of influencers actually struggle with the fact that because they have a following, they can't 100% be themselves
But
or
I feel
do things for them,
but then
or
I
do
feel-
things for themselves.
But I feel like you can be yourself with your friends and with your family.
I agree.
I just think again,
No,
it
I
just
think
goes
like
back to
if-
this. You think that you have to put like
Everything
you
on
just,
social
No, I
media.
think
As an
I'm
influencer,
coming
your
from
business.
a perspective of, say, for example, like when I got my BBL, a lot of people would probably think, oh, because I'm a Christian, I'm very open about my faith, I talk about God a lot and all that kind of stuff. I would put, if I was if my mind frame was that, oh my gosh, like I've got this following and I'm a Christian, I don't want to like mislead people, I know someone's going to have something to say, oh, I can't tell people that I've gotten surgery. In that aspect of things, where you feel like you can't, I wouldn't even probably go ahead with it anyway, because maybe someone might find out later on, or someone will see that my body shape has changed, and it's that pressure that I can't do for me what I want to do for me, because I have this influence, or I have people following me that I'm going to have an impact on. And I feel like that's a lot of pressure, because regardless of how much influence you have, every single person has their own individual lives to live. I don't live my life for my followers.
But then your transparency makes it a positive experience then as well. So even if it's not what you're not doing,
They might not agree with it, but the fact that I'm being open about it
is also
but then there's the
positive.
argument that what is the thin line? How transparent can you be? Because even when you feel like you are sharing, a lot of people will say that you're not sharing enough.